my name is Shelly Fisher, and I've been in education for 25 years. In that time, that encompasses classrooms anywhere from kindergarten all the way through 5th. I taught in each of those classrooms, and most recently, I taught 6th grade for Proximity Learning, Inc. I taught 4 classes of 6th graders and 2 classes of 4th graders, 6th grade writing and 4th grade reading. In that time, I also was a campus administrator, was an assistant principal for 3 years, and a principal for 2. I've been working with Proximity Learning, Inc. since January 2019, and it's been amazing. I am certified in the state of Texas to teach all content areas, kindergarten all the way through the 6th grade. So it was the last day of class with our 6th graders, and we had been working on poetry and a research paper, and I'd really been encouraging them to share with the students in the class, to share with me and share with the facilitator. And so we had planned kind of a fun day. The facilitator had gone out and gotten some candy for prizes, and we were playing Jeopardy. And all of a sudden, one of the students said, "Miss Fisher, could I just read you my paper?" And I was like, "Hey, great, that's awesome." Maybe she just finished some things, changed some things, wanted to run it by me. It was the perfect way to end the last day. And then she began reading it, and I realized it was a goodbye letter. And she was thanking me for all the things that I had taught her and the things that we did during the school year. And so, choked up, she had a hard time finishing the letter, and another person asked to read, and it became pretty clear that they all had letters for me at that point. And I was super emotional. I was fighting back tears, and the facilitator got very emotional. The kids did as well, and the facilitator said, "I don't know if we can finish, Miss Fisher." It meant so much to me that they took the time to do that the facilitator created time for them to do that, and the thought process behind them just blew me away. I kept every single one of them, and I will keep every single one of them. They were my first online class, and they have a really special place in my heart. Absolutely, and you're right. Every letter was very meaningful because I got to know them so well, and it was very clear what we had worked through and what I had taught and what they had learned in their letters. But there was one that I think kind of just sums up what we try to do at Proximity. She said, you taught me things that I wouldn't have learned this year without you. And that hit me square in the heart. There was another letter that really reminds me that it's not all about the content and the curriculum. She said, you bring joy to the classroom, and I love when you try to make us laugh. And she ended with, "I love you, Miss Fisher." And it just reminded me that it's not always about the instruction, it's also about that incredible rapport that you can have with students. Absolutely. I reflected a lot on how am I going to make those connections with kids on the screen. In the classroom, it was, a physical high five, it was a pat on the shoulder, and so I really, going into it, was reflecting, how am I going to have that same connection? Because we know that's so important between teacher and student. And so the virtual high five on the screen happened, and, for some reason, the connections that we made that semester really came through to me in those letters. I kind of felt that I was checking in with them, we were doing breakout room, I knew what was going on with them, I knew when they were having a bad day, I knew things that they were celebrating, all those little things. I remembered things about them. When we connect again, I'd say, "Hey, how's your cousin?" If they mentioned something about cousin not feeling well, just all those little things to make connections. And when I got the letters, it became really clear to me that I had made those connections virtually. And so I'm not so worried about that anymore. It was an incredible experience. Since I began teaching, I've taught students at every point on the spectrum. I've taught students who had special education modifications, 504 accommodations, students who were English language learners, students who were gifted and talented, students who were having behavioral issues. And the one strategy that I always used was differentiating the instruction. And so going into the virtual classroom, it was my goal and my objective to do the same thing. And so really just jumped into the use of breakout rooms. I used chat to kind of check in with them. I had them kind of give me a number. "Hey, do you feel good about where you're at? You just need time to work today? Send me a 3. If you want to meet in a small group with other kiddos that are struggling with that same concept or that same skill, shoot me a 2. If you want to meet just one-on-one with me, send me a 1. And so that kind of broke that out, and then I would do breakout rooms. I would do some individual stuff after a whole class. And so really, again, it's an incredible opportunity to do the same things we do in brick and mortar class, only we're zooming into places that wouldn't have had a teacher before. And so to find out that I can have that rapport, I can differentiate instruction, to me was just, it's a dream come true. It's an
Yeah.
opportunity that I had never thought of when I first got into teaching. Well, I think that you really have more of an opportunity to kind of focus just with that kiddo virtually, because you've both got on headsets and you're only hearing each other. Whereas in the classroom, when I was doing one-on-one, they're hearing all the outside noise. And so it really did give us an opportunity to focus. Also, anything that I can put on the screen, I can show them. And that's a world of infinite possibilities right there. It's no more do we have to check out the RV card and roll it into the class and shove in the VCR tape, I'm showing my age now, or the DVD. It's right there on the screen for them. And so I really see it as an advantage to be a virtual classroom teacher in that respect for sure.